my heart's full and it's happy, and that's
I
always
love tank.
but that's always the way it is in the beginning anyways, right? So my tank is full.
The tank is full.
Welcome back to Access Hollywood's Housewives Nightcap. I mean, I don't even know how to intro this because we're together.
We're here in the flesh. We are so excited to do this. I came from New York City
just for this,
for sunny LA, and we are welcoming
our all-time
favorite
housewife, the queen of the OC, the OG of the OC.
We say this a lot, but this is true.
This is true because she is our favorite.
She is. Yep.
Okay, drum roll.
Vicki!
Vicki is here, the queen, the OG of the OC
is back. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can whoop it up. We'd love to whoop it up. Vicki, give us a little bit of an update on your life right now. What's happening?
Life is good. I mean, finally, I turned the page. It's been probably the worst 3 months of my life. And I can go back to when my mom died, all these different scenarios in my life. This has been the worst 3 months of my life. And it was like I was praying and praying and praying and manifesting and journaling and writing. And it was like God spoke to me, as crazy as this is, if you believe or don't believe. And it was like, girl, you're Vicki Gunvalson. You got this. And it was like I woke up in the morning and I worked out. I did my Peloton. I had been slacking off and working out. And I was just like, you're right. Nobody is going to bring me to that level that I was at before. And I've got 2 beautiful children. I've got a 4th grandchild on the way next week.
Oh.
And I'm so excited. It's a little girl. So
Finally.
Brianna's having a pre-planned C-section. So that's awesome. I'll be in Mexico over the weekend with a friend. Then I head over to Chicago for 2 weeks. And then I go back to Mexico to whoop it up for my 60th birthday.
Wait.
Hold on. You guys have to come. You guys have to come.
We will come. We will come.
We've got so many bloggers coming. I've got so many people that love on me coming. So please come. It's March 25th. All the donations of $20 for entrance fee is going to go to my best friend, David, out there. He's been really suffering from COVID.
Aww.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bless you, and I'm going to throw a couple more, thousands in a pocket for him. So he has been my confidant. I've known him for 35 years, and the town has really suffered. So I'm like, where else would I want to spend my 60th? So March 25th at King David's Bar in Puerto Vallarta. Then the next day, we're heading to a private island, and 16 of my favorite people and my new boyfriend.
What?
Yes, I'm so excited. And he is
Wait, you're giving us too much information.
but he is the first man that has ever really treated me to anything. He's like, I got that. You're not paying for that. I got that. You're not paying for that. I'm like, are you like real? I'm touching him, and he's freaking incredible. He's from Texas. I gave him an 18 lists of what I want in my next person. Because, in all the books you read and all the self-help, you manifest your person, right? So I manifested him, and he had everything but one. And I'm like, I goes, I got everything but one, including wearing cowboy boots and loves country western music. So he doesn't have a boat. And I'm like, okay, let's take that one off.
I was about to say, Vicki, maybe you could throw him a boat. I don't know.
So my age group was 55 to 62. He'll be 62 in May. I mean, it's literally like God said, poop.
So wait, how did you meet?
Yes, let's rewind a little bit. How did you guys meet?
Really an interesting story. I met him BS before the who about 6 years ago, and we exchanged. I got his.
Wait, what's
BS before?
He loves to be in the limelight, so I'm not using.
No.
So we had exchanged numbers, and I didn't remember him from Adam. Kelly Dodd called me like a month and a half ago, and she's like, I want you to meet somebody. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to date. I don't want to date. No, make me date. And she's like, no, you have to meet him. Meet Rick and I at RHOC. I walked in. I'm like, have you guys ever met somebody that was like,
yes,
my person?
Yes.
So I sat down, he put his arm around me right away and he goes, what are you doing for the rest of your life? And I go, oh, I don't know. And he's like, you and I met 6.5 years ago and you didn't give me the time of day. And I go, we did not. He goes, let me call your number. He called it. Sure enough, his name appeared. And I'm like, I don't remember you. He's like, because you were preoccupied. You were just getting off of Brooks and blah, 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 blah. You were not ready. He goes, are you finally ready to date me yet? I've been waiting. And I'm like, you're kidding me because I don't know you from anything. So anyways, it's been like Disneyland. I mean, really, like in my mind, I'm so happy. I've never had a man treat me like this. And he is just a quality man. Met his daughter. He has one daughter. He's treating me to this beautiful island in off Puerto Vallarta with 14 of my other friends. And I'm like, I can pay my way. He's like, you're not paying your way. And just that one moment, because I just assumed it's not that he has to pay my way to make him special. It was all the steps up to that of just being a solid man, having his own place. He, he's works, he's good, like he just had everything. He's not on social media, which I was that was one of that's on my list. Because you know who is on it all day long. I'm like, no, this is weird. You're not a celebrity, I am.
Right.
So, he's not on social media, which was one of my 18 things. I said, well, who are you going to find nowadays that's not on social media? He's like, I don't waste my time on that stuff. I'm like, get out.
That is a good sign.
That's a good sign. And also, you have always been the one to take care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like in your past relations, it's always been like, I'm taking care of you. I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
So now that you're getting to be taken care of.
Yeah. This is such an incredible way that different little things like Valentine's Day and he's just so far just perfect. Like I just said, don't this up because I swear to God, I'll come after you. I'm gonna call your daughter. So that's fun. I just put my house for sale. So this is the upstairs stuff. I redid the whole house and it's a model home. It's perfect. So I put a shitload of money into it and I gutted it and renovated it. And it's a 3-bedroom, 4-bath. So 2 bedrooms are up, 1 bedroom's down. And I knew when I bought it, it wasn't my forever home. It's still in Kodo. So my realtor called me last week and he's like, I want to list your house. I'm like, it's not for sale. He goes, if we can get X amount of dollars, will it be for sale? So 4 offers have come in so far, all over asking. And I just feel like this is going to be a good year. My business is going great. I just hired a new branding manager agent for maybe some TV shows and
good. Nice. Oh, that's exciting.
It's like I had to get out of the rut of just thinking like, woe is me. And once I did that, the doors start opening to just opportunities,
Right.
And, you can only be depressed for so long, I got dumb. That's a fact. And I didn't deserve how it was happened, but I know that God had his hand on this. He was not my forever guy. So I'm good now. I wasn't for 3 months. There's nothing worse than being discarded and replaced.
Right.
But
you were not discarded. No, first of all, no one cannot be replaced.
No, like this. Good luck, bitch. Good luck with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. He wasn't a prize.
They always come crawling back, and when he does, you're gonna be like, "Look at me, I got this."
The door is locked. Locked. He can go. You know what himself. So, but it took me a while to get there.
Right. Understandably, it always does.
And it was like the way
he's so nasty. He used me so bad, but his theory is totally different than the facts. So the facts don't lie. And I've done my talking about it, but I'm not going to talk about it anymore because he loves his name in lights. He's famous and he's not famous. So
no,
she thinks she's marrying a movie star. Like, okay, good luck.
No.
Yeah, good luck.
No,
literally, wife, go for it.
I mean, if anything, he's just probably getting hate DMs because we all love you, and now we're like.
Like you said, you are the celebrity.
Do not look at my hair. I'm getting my roots done tomorrow. I'm going to Mexico on Friday.
Wait, we need to go to Mexico.
Yeah, we need to go.
We need to make this
March 25th, a big ass whoop it up party. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like the best time. Okay, big question here. Does your daughter like Brianna?
Yeah.
Does she like this new gentleman?
She hasn't met him. We've only been dating 6 weeks,
Okay.
4 weeks. No, she
We'll
has not
stay
met him.
tuned on that.
So
Okay.
she'll love him. She'll love him. Yeah.
I love, you can tell that you are genuinely happy.
Oh, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I seriously am like, I manifested this person. It is crazy. I know Kim Zolciak did the same thing with Corey, and I believe in it, but I kind of always gave excuses like, okay, well, there's not a lot of single people available anymore. All the good ones are gone. That's my theory. Like if they're married or they're already taken, if they're good, why are they single? That was always my thought. But I'm good and I'm single, so.
Exactly. I used to think the same thing. I used to think, why am I single? Why am I single? But then I realized like, well, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. So there's got to be someone good out there. I'm just perfect.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not picky because I believe everybody's got a fault and I'm not perfect. So I'm just forgive those faults and just like perfect. Like, okay, you got this. You love me. You'll be honest and loyal to me. I love you, And so I know now to look for those red flags that I didn't handle before. I just stayed because to me, you get committed, you stay. You fix the problem. You don't leave. And that's now what I'm realizing is that you can leave. Yeah. You don't have to stay when there's red flags. And, somebody had said on social media, girl, this isn't a circus. It's not green and yellow flags to the new girl. It's red. This is not a green and yellow. 7 times engaged, 4th marriage. Yeah, this is a red flag. So when you start thinking about that, that's a commitment issue, So for me, I'm committed. When you say you put that ring on my finger, I am committed till death. Yes, I've been divorced, but I've asked for forgiveness and all that good stuff. But we both went south. We both went and had affairs. You can't do that and expect your relationship to survive. You can't.
No.
So I've learned so much from that, and I'm ready to commit 100%. And I don't want to go through breakups anymore. I'll figure out what I have to do to, make it happy. And he was like, look, we could have 30 years together. I'm like, that's a long time, 50. But it was just like, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but my heart's full and it's happy. And that's always,
change.
But that's always the way it is in the beginning anyways, right? So my tank is full.
Your tank is full.
Oh,
yeah, we love that for you.
But I'm aware of it enough to go, I'm not goo gaga, I'm not stupid, I'm not looking that there won't be any problems. I know there's going to be issues and problems. I know that's part of life. But do you want to venture through this together or do you want to bail?
Yep, love this for you, Vicki.
But he lives in Texas.
No, he has a business in Texas, Aspen, and also here, California. He lives in Newport.
Amazing then. Oh, maybe your next spot.
Yeah.
Maybe your next spot is Newport. Leaving Kodo, going down to the beach.
I might.
I mean, Newport.
He asked me to move in with him already. I'm like, I'm not moving in with you. You're kidding me. He's like, well, you're here doing sleepovers all the time anyway. I'm like, okay, we don't have to say that to anybody.
Give it a couple more months.
Yeah, I'm not going to move in. There's no friggin' way I'm moving in with him. So I am going to stay, having my own place and date, not like
Yes, exactly.
I want my own place. I want to make sure it's right. And if it's not right, we end it. And if it is, then we go the next step a couple years from now.
Because you have a lot going on in the next, I know you have a lot going on now, but in the next couple months, there's also going to be a lot going on because Real Housewives Ultimate Trip Season 2 is coming out.
Hey!
And we can't wait to see it. But I think you've also talked about it already before. And it's like, there's drama that went down. So you need to tell us about it.
Ridiculous drama. And I had just gotten off of COVID. I was so sick. I was so tired. I kept testing negative right before we all left. We all had a test every single day. So when I got there, I was exhausted, but we had a test every morning to make sure you don't have any positive. None of us tested positive the whole time we were filming. But I was I don't know if any of you all have had COVID, but you are so tired for a month.
I haven't yet.
We haven't.
That's crazy. Yeah. But once you recover from it, it's that it's the tiredness, the exhaustion.
I've heard this.
Like, it's like I couldn't get, I mean, Tamara and I shared a room together. I'm like, I can't even get up, and I want to go to bed at 3:00 in the afternoon. She's like, you gotta work. I'm like, so it was a little bit of a challenge. So, but we got through it. Meeting some new ladies, that was interesting. But I think it's going to be a good show. Actually, I know it's going to be a good show. Tamara and I together are just awesome. I mean, we're just good TV, and it's authentic and real. It's not this fake stuff you're seeing on Orange County right now.
What do you think of like what's going on? What do you think of Noella
and Heather coming back?
I don't associate with Heather. I mean, when we filmed together, we were fine, but it's not like we're calling each other and going to tea in the afternoon.
Right.
Not happening. I'm not in her League of Zeros, and I don't really care about the League of Zeros. I mean, whether she has $1 or 100 friggin' $1,000,000, I don't care about money. It's just a tool to get you what you want in your life. So I work with money all day long. I do retirement planning, financial planning. I do insurance. I deal with hundreds of thousands of dollars of people. And so it doesn't intimidate me that she's wealthier than me, but it also makes me feel like, because I'm not in her league, birds of a feather flock together, that I know I'm not going to ever be in that league, and I don't care to be in that league. But what I care about is how people treat people. And she's always treated me very nice and kind. I just see a different side of her right now on TV. That's a little bit too money all the time. I like Heather. I just don't know truly if she likes me. So I'm good with her. Noella and James, Steve and I knew them.
Well, you knew Noella.
Actually, Noella reached out to me like 4 years ago that she needed insurance on her husband. She wanted to be on the show more than anything.
Yeah, that's obvious.
It's very clear, right? So I talked to them and talked to James. He was a little bit of a challenge to get insured, but I got him insured, went to Prudential, flew out there, talked to the underwriters, got him a policy that he was never able to get. So it was a good policy. And then we started socializing together. I sent them a big, $2,000 bouquet of flowers and just said, thank you for the big business. Please refer me to your other lawyers. Like, I need to build on referrals. So then we went to Napa together, and we just were almost together every single weekend, the four of us. And she kept saying, what do I need to get on the show? What do I need to get on the show? And I'm like, be careful what you wish for. I mean, it destroyed my marriage with Don, mostly destroys most marriages. She goes, James and I are good, and I'm like, yeah, right. So she globbed onto Bronwyn, and then she lost my number. I mean, I don't think she did, but she lost my number. So when she got onto Bronwyn last year's season, she never called me. I never called her. It was just kind of like, whatever. I followed her on social media, and I knew she wanted to be on the show more than life. And then when James and her, decided to break up this year, it was like I knew it was coming. But the show definitely had an influence on it. I know for sure, I can bet my sweet Bippy, if she wasn't on the show, they'd be fine. And actually, James reached out to me and said, you were right. Be careful what you wish for. Noella wanted to be on the show more than anything. So I always believe there's two sides to every story, right? Don't believe all her, don't believe all him. Yeah. I'm in the neutral. I cared about both of them. I wish them both best. It sucks because they have this baby, Junior, that is now autistic. And I don't know how it's all going to work out, but when Noella gets off the show, and it will happen, whether it's next year, this year, the year after, it will happen to them all. Then she's going to have to reevaluate what was important to her,
Right. It's so interesting because she, like you really were the OG, This show kind of came to you, and you were doing your thing. You weren't seeking the thing.
No. You weren't seeking it whatsoever.
No, and Don didn't want to do it. So he thought we'd be divorced. I'm like, we're not going to get divorced. We got this. So it's for a healthy marriage. But Don and I are really good friends. He's super happy. He's out in the desert in Palm Springs, and he has our house still at the river. And he's 68 years old now, and he's really happy. He needed to be single. He had never been married before me, and he's really close with Brianna, and he loves his life, and he's happy. So you know what? We all fall where we need to settle. My mom always told me the cream rises to the top, and people settle where they want to settle. And you know what? I know that with my ex now, he's settling where he needs to settle, and I'm going to blow past him. I mean, he was almost a weight on me. And now I feel like I got wings and I'm going to be me again. I'm going to smile and I'm going to laugh and I'm going to build my business and I'm going to keep traveling the world and keep mentoring to people in Mexico and, you know, just being good to my kids and my family and my friends. And that's what life's about, not being controlled and not, you know, all these different things. So I'm really finally so thankful, happy that I finally turned the page, because I was really scared that I was never going to get out of the depression. I mean, I called it.
You can do that.
No, it was horrible. The worst thing and it was a public breakup.
Right.
It was so public, and it
like, come on.
It was so gross.
It was so gross, and him denying and saying we weren't together. Well, then why the hell were you sleeping in my bed? If we weren't together, why the hell were you in my bed?
Oh my
God.
God.
Nobody can answer that question. They're like, oh, you just couldn't let him go. No, he put his ass in my bed every night to the day he left for the bimbo. So that's
crazy.
Yeah. So I didn't know there was.
You know what? Karma's a bitch.
Amen. It will take care of itself. I have to do nothing but sit back. I don't smoke, but I'm going to start smoking when it happens.
You know, honestly, yeah, just light up a little cigarette and.
Well, I will have the best stogie cigar in that honor, because it will happen. 27 years age difference. She's never had kids. Like, what the hell is she thinking? People settle where they want to settle, right?
True.
And you're not settling, and you are happy. You got a new man. Now, you're not public with this?
No, and I won't be. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
Which is a good sign.
I'm like, thank you, Jesus, again, right? He doesn't want to be part of it. And
that's a good sign.
We went out for dinner the other night for Valentine's Day. We ran into Shannon and John. And I said hi to Shannon. She hasn't called me or talked to me in 2 years since she's put on. And I got nothing against Shannon. I love Shannon. She looked great. And she knows this man that I'm dating.
Okay.
So it was nice. So we had a little talk, and then we went to our beautiful table on the water, and it was nice. And it was good to see her, because we were best friends. And so I wish her nothing but the best. I'm happy for her and John, and whatever she wants, I want for her. And I just want the same back.